Libra Seeker. Welcome to Virgo season. Ooh, a card just... Temperance in the reverse. We can't argue with the cards that want to come out. If we want the reading to be authentic, we can't argue with the message that we receive if we ask an authentic question. Just because the message isn't fun to hear. Temperance in the reverse. You're impatient with spirit a little bit, whether you are willing to admit it or not. Maybe something isn't coming in the right time. Maybe it's not coming in the right way. Maybe it's not coming in. Maybe something else is coming in and you're like, that's not what I asked for. Is spirit wrong? Are we wrong? Maybe doubting the cosmic timeline isn't about being wrong. It's about our journey here. We can't figure out the truth without weighing all the options, without investigating everyone involved, their legitimacy, their agendas. That includes spirit. It may be hard for you to admit it because it's a taboo, right, to doubt spirit. But since you are Libra and you inherently have a very strong core of a sense of justice, you understand that no one is exempt. And given the hello card that was turned around and I didn't notice, Knight of Pentacles, and given the atrocities that has occurred in history and in our own life, let's admit it, it's been challenging. Maybe it's time to knock on Spirit's door and ask for proof. Spirit won't ask of a warrant. When you ask something of Spirit, it gives. It is infinitely generous. Even when it is wrong, it is generous with its mistakes. If it made a mistake, it won't have a problem showing it to you. Knock on Spirit's door, Libra. Ask the questions. Express the frustration, the pain, the anger, Knight of Swords. Say all the words. Tell it. Tell Spirit that you're upset, that you're disappointed, that you're hurt. That it's not right what's going on in your life, whatever that is, however it applies to your life, that it's not right, whatever goes on in society and humanity, it's just not right. You understand that, you get that. This is why you're here for, what you are here for, to question legitimacy of things, to seek answers. How are you going to receive answers from Spirit if you don't ask the questions, the difficult questions? Not only that Spirit won't be upset, it expects that of you. It is you expressing your basic rights. You want to inspire and teach others to seek for the truth? Seek for the truth. Not only when it's comfortable. Where did all these cards flip and went? Seven of Swords. Not only when it's comfortable, but when it's uncomfortable and you need to step on your toes a little bit. Yeah. Dance the dance of political correctness, which you know how to do so well. Even mostly in front of those that you are not supposed to question. Those you're not supposed to question are those you're supposed to question first. And how can we exempt spirit and believe in spirit at the same time? How can we claim that we are made in its image, but hold ourselves accountable to things that we don't hold spirit accountable to? This is where your free choice comes in. This is when the freedom of your soul comes in. So the divine knows itself and expresses itself through you, through us. Okay, well, you want the divine to be free and expansive? Be free and expansive. Something along the way was lost. Something with your passion and your indignation. And I'm not referring to righteous indignation. Screw that. I'm referring to passionate indignation of search and discovery. Your mind is playing tricks on you of right versus wrong. Have you stopped to ask your heart? Your heart has a search warrant for spirit. Let it do it. Let it ask difficult questions. Morgane, it's not spirit, it's my person, it's my parent, it's my job, it's my bestie, it's my whatever. Okay. Then go to them. Virgo season is bringing out the spy in you, the private investigator in you. It puts a light on your psyche, on your subconscious, and reminds you of things that you've, subjective memory you've purposefully forgotten about. Six of Swords. Take the time and the space that you need in order to do so. Some of you will do so and will feel like you need to now take time and space from someone or from a place. The full moon in Aquarius that we just had, two actually, were very itchy. I know they're positive in essence, but it makes you itch inside because they force you to do the uncomfortable. And if it doesn't, it zaps you, that energy. Our sensitivity to falsities is increasing. Where is Libra going? The Empress. Venus is in your sign now. So you're going straight into yourself in the most beautiful, artistic way possible. You want to create something that you believe in, that you're passionate about. And you don't want to give too much you don't want to give answers to anyone. You don't want to answer to anyone. Is this the right thing to do? Is it the wrong thing to do? Is it aligned with this? Is it aligned with that? Who put you to be the judge? Who put you to be the decision maker? You be the judge of you, Libra. Maybe you're taking some time to spend in nature. Maybe you're traveling to visit your mother. We do have the Empress here in the Six of Swords. Sometimes it's simplistic. Ace of Cups in the reverse. Empress in the upright, Ace of Cups in the reverse, after we had Temperance in the reverse. There could be some hormonal imbalance. If you're a feminine, then for you, or if you're masculine, then to a woman in your life. There's some sort of hormonal imbalance that might be affecting you. This could have to do with your monthly cycle. This could have to do with your reproductive systems, fertility. It could be an aspect of timing, where right now you're in a place where you're not showing self-care for yourself, so you're deflecting it to giving self-care possibly to a child. But we can't give what we don't have, or we can't do for others what we don't know how to do for ourselves. If there's a delay in it, consider the possibility that you ought to practice self-care when it comes to femininity and self-love. And yes, also beauty. Treat yourself in a way that will make you feel great. There could be some sort of medical procedure that you're hesitant of taking because you feel like you'd rather have a more natural or holistic perspective to it. Let's go back to the start. This is not just about doubting spirit. You can doubt anyone that your heart tells you you should, or anything. Apply it to however it applies to your life, but don't abandon your intuition and your instincts at this time. Because the mind, or toxic masculinity that is only of the mind, tells you to. Show me more. Nine of Cups, Eight of Swords. I am picking up on pregnancy very strongly, like someone is either trying to conceive or to become pregnant, and they're having some difficulties, or it could be an accidental pregnancy as well. So if that's not the case, if you don't have any issues with getting pregnant, consider that it could be the opposite, an unplanned pregnancy. So if you're not into that, be cautious. Because if it's something that you're not ready for, it will obviously limit you in many ways, because a child is, you don't need me to tell you that it's an obligation for life and a commitment for life. Okay? Something that you wish for is not happening because there's something in the subconscious that isn't wishing for it, that wishes for the opposite. It doesn't have to be pregnancy at all. It could be, but it could be anything. There's something blocking the flow of that wish fulfillment, and it comes from your psyche. You have a fear of breaking out of some sort of, it's kind of Stockholm syndrome I'm picking up. where you've gotten really, really used to and accustomed to something that is limiting you or oppressing even to you. I am picking up on a masculine who has some mother issues, who's very dependent on her and on her validation and on her approval for things. We do have 6, 7, 8 of Swords. The archetype of Orestes is coming up strong. It's from Greek mythology, where Orestes' mother killed his father. Rightly so, his father killed her daughter, Orestes' sister. It was messy. So she takes revenge at him, but then Orestes, their son, now is forced to save his dad's honor by punishing his mother for killing him, although he did something really bad first. And it's like this moral conundrum that Orestes is stuck in. And bottom line, this individual should not be stuck in this conundrum, because this is not the Greek mythology, and you're not supposed to kill anyone or pay vengeance on anyone. If they're an asshole, just take your distance. Sometimes no one is right, sometimes both are wrong, and you should just be like, peace out. Does that make sense? But this person mentally is placing themselves in the middle of something that they should not be placing themselves in the middle of, because it's only hurting them and it's not benefiting the parties involved. Show me more about this Virgo season for Libra. Judgment in the reverse, underneath the whole judgment conversation we had with Spirit. Temperance in the reverse. Matters of faith and intuition are blocked. They're blocked because you won't allow yourself to ask the questions. You're very, very scared of doing something wrong in the eyes of Spirit, some of you, or in the eyes of someone that you believe to be superior to you. Right? It could be an analogy. But you won't search for the truth in your life, and you won't acknowledge certain truths because you're possibly timid as to what it might say about you, thinking those things. For example, let's say you have parents that were both pretty shitty. I'm just giving an example. They were hurting each other, they were hurting you, they're super toxic, just, by the book assholes. But you won't be upset with them, won't be judgmental towards them, won't even acknowledge in your mind that you can't stand them. Well, because it is wrong in the eyes of God. It's also wrong to be cruel towards yourself. It's also wrong to enable cruelty. Also, you don't have to say anything to them. You can admit to yourself that you can't stand the look of them right now, and you don't want to be in the middle, and you don't want to help him, and you don't want to help her, and let them just chew each other's brains out, and you're out. You forcing yourself to do the right thing is not the right thing. And the only way for you to figure that one out, other than this reading, hey, is by allowing your heart to take over and being like, I'm not happy here, I'm not feeling good here, this is wrong, I don't care what my mind says, I don't care what the Bible says, I don't care what this or that theosophy or philosophy or school of thought says, I don't care what that guru said, I don't care what this person said, I don't care, I care what this says. Let me tell you something, this knows best. This is God. This is our direct, clear connection to Source. But because you're currently judgmental towards your best judge of character, you're not listening, you're not hearing the truth. It's being spoken to you, but you're blocking it. want to look at the cards? I will continue this in the extended on Vimeo and on Patreon, links below. I will focus on your love life. We'll take a look at you and your person of interest. It's a double pentagram spread, and then we'll pull runes as a rune reading. Okay? Anything else for Virgo season before we move on to the extended? Anything else for Libra for this coming season about this? Five of Swords. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest is here. Thinks he needs to decide on who gets punished and who gets rewarded. No. Get yourself ASAP out of this soap opera. It's not your job to be the judge of anything. It's your job to be happy. Seek the truth and then judge for yourself what makes you happy. But it's not about, oh, I'm in a position where I have to decide for this and for that, so they will know and they will blah blah. No they, just you. What's good for you right now? Especially if this applies to you, you'll know it applies to you if this is in reference to people who have been very toxic towards you and coercive, mentally abusive, that made you doubt your instincts, made you doubt your sense of truth, a sense of balance. You got to take yourself out of their space. Look at them. 5, 6, 7, 8 of Swords. Look at this. There's some narcissism developed because of growing up in a very toxic environment that was really unloving. Right? The narcissist empath scale. Watch my 13th element video. A narcissist is an empath who had enough. Narcissist versus empath, the triggering truth. So on my 13th element playlist, it is important for anyone to watch, no matter your sign. Especially if you consider yourself an empath or wondering sometimes maybe you're a narcissist. It's the same wound. It's the same core wound. I spoke about it before everybody else started taking the wave on that. Watch the video. I also explain why. Okay, so some of you grew up with some narcissistic environment, and you are deeply sensitive and deeply empathic, but it created such a wound where you don't know the difference between showing someone love versus coercing someone or imposing your help. Especially at this time where we are going toward the next level energetically and frequency wise, you don't want to be stuck in that paradigm. Alright, you beautiful, wonderful human. I'll see you in a second in the extended. Link is below. Also, I'm doing something special and new, and if we love it and it works, I'll continue. Later today, tonight, in a few hours, I'll go live for private Q&As, answering your personal questions in regards to this reading. Right? So if you're not sure if this applies to you, or if I said something and you want further information that specifically personally applies to your story, you can hop on. You can hop on regardless. Maybe you'll receive vicariously an answer to your question. But if you want to ask me a question in regards to this, whether you're a Libra or connected to Libra energy or a cross watcher or whatever, this reading struck you and you want to talk about it in relation to you, come over to the live Q&A later. Okay? It's via Super Chat and PayPal. The information will be in the description box below that live. We'll prep it in advance so you can see the detail. Okay? And I recommend to send your question in advance if you're doing it through PayPal. That way you'll just be in line and it will go into a flow and go fast, and I'll just start as we start the Q&A instead of waiting for it to happen. Okay? Alright. Either way, I'll see you in a second. I love you guys. Bye for now.